Hi everyone, we're very happy to announce that we've launched the intermediate jump rope module on OPENPhysEd.org. I'm going to go to curriculum resources, 3 through 5 physical education modules, tools for teaching, jump rope right here. Click on that. Up comes our feature image, a little bit about the authors and contributors, a brief introduction, and down into all of the different files that will help you implement this module in your teaching. So as usual, PDF and Microsoft Word formats are provided. You can click on the complete module packet, which will give you every document in one PDF. This module is about 108 pages long when it's all said and done. Really quick, just to take a look at some of the features. It starts out with Back to Basics, which is really an activity that gets students back into the idea of jumping rope. We give a jump rope progression to kind of guide that process. This is a progression that I use with students that works really well, and it's 5 steps. So it takes them from learning how to turn the rope, trapping it with their feet, jumping it over one time, and then jumping it continuous. So 5 levels. Again, this is Microsoft Word, so if you don't like my cues but you like the illustrations, you can go in and you can change any of the cues that you want. So Back to Basics gets them through that progression so that you know either you've gone back and reviewed, or maybe you're teaching it to some students for the very first time. After students get the basic jump down, they're ready for creative mode stations. So you'll notice that creative mode, if you have students who are into Minecraft, this is kind of we're borrowing some terminology from Minecraft. So we've got 6 stations set up, and students will rotate through those stations. We'll take a look at these cards real quick, creative mode station cards. And you'll notice that these are basic tricks, pretty typical jump rope tricks. Side turns, side turn jump, bell jumps, forward straddles. So really basic jump rope tricks that students can learn, and again, that's one of our outcomes, that students will be able to perform a variety of jump rope tricks, and this gives them the practice that they need to do that. So at each station they're focused on one trick, they learn it really well, and they're ready to go. Once they've gotten done with their creative mode stations, you can throw in some game-based activities. So jump rope battle bags and match me if you can. Those are partner and team-based activities where they're competing a little bit against their classmates while using jump rope as a format for doing that. So check those activities out. They're really fun. Kids love them. Once they've gotten through a lot of short rope practice, then we go into long rope practice. So again, long rope basics teaches them the basic skill cues of jumping a long rope, and you can come in here and see we have another long rope progression card. So if I click on this, we've got 6 different levels, from just turning the rope with a partner all the way through jumping with a with multiple jumpers on the long rope. So that's a nice little progression that you can use if you like it. After they've learned the basics of a long rope jump, we have long rope rhymes for them to learn and master. So again, over here we have rhyme cards which students can use. There are 3 different types of rhymes that we've identified. So there's endurance rhymes, where they say a quick rhyme and then they start to count, or they could even do ABCs, and this is really fun for students to see how high they can get in terms of repetitions. So the next one is pick a trick rhymes. So students will go through and they'll say a short rhyme, and then in sequence they'll go through a series of different tricks, and this is a little bit of a precursor to creating a routine later on. Now when students master this and they're really good at it and they know a lot of different tricks, you can challenge them to say the rhyme and then randomly throw out different tricks that they want to do. So there's no rule that says they have to follow these tricks specifically, but those are given to get them started. And then finally there's long rope enter and exit rhymes. So these rhymes are useful for useful and really fun to allow students to take turns with a long rope. So a lot of times you may have a student that comes in and they just jump all day long and no one else gets a turn. But the implementation of enter and exit rhymes kind of flips a switch in all students' heads that they want to get this right, and it's a challenge for them. and it also prompts them to take turns a little bit more frequently. And then finally, for a challenge and a little bit of academic integration, we tell students to create their own rhyme based on one of the types that we've given them, and then they circle the type of rhyme that it is at the end. And they can share that rhyme as a class, or they could take it home and teach someone at home. There's a variety of different things they could do with the jump rope rhyme. So that's going through and helping students practice and work towards mastering their long rope skills. And then back to Minecraft, we had our creative mode stations, and now we have our survival mode stations. And as these stations are set up, they're set up as challenge stations. So let me go in and click on so that we can take a look. And you can see that students will come as a group. They'll complete a challenge as a group. This happens to be a 16 jump, 4 trick routine that they would complete. And then they answer a nutrition challenge. Which is a better snack to eat before jumping rope, an apple or a candy bar? And then the answer, if they need it, is upside down on the bottom of the card. So they would go through, they would complete this challenge, answer the question, and then they get to go to the next station. This one has a different sequence of 16 jumps and then another nutrition question. So again, they've learned with creative mode, they've learned these basic tricks, and now in survival mode, they're working towards using those tricks in a sequence. And you'll see there's some similar ones here. And we've also thrown in our long rope jumping. So as a group, they will recite one jump rope rhyme while they're jumping rope and answer a nutrition question. They're done with that, they come over here, and now they have to have each one of their group members complete 5 long rope jumps and answer the question. So again, these are really fun ways for students to feel as if they're utilizing the skills that they've learned in a more challenging environment. And then finally, jump rope routines allows students to go ahead and create a routine with a group, a lot of cooperation here, and they can use this card to go in, create a 16 jump sequence with 4 different tricks, and then there's bonus tricks that they can add in as well. For an activity bonus, if you want to use pedometers or heart rate monitors, you could have students give a step goal and then record what their total step was at the end, or heart rate, whether that's a max heart rate or an average heart rate. That's up to you on what concept you're trying to teach at the time. So this is a nice jump rope routine card that you can use as an assessment piece as well. And then like the other open elementary modules, we end in a station day, which gives you skills or gives the students tasks that will show off the skills that they need to show you based on our holistic rubric that we use for assessment. And the holistic rubrics are right here as well. A couple other little things to point out here at the top. We're working on making sure that we're designing our modules to work with as many children as we possibly can. We never want to exclude children, and universal design adaptations are good suggestions for you to modify the jump rope activities with respect to equipment, rules, environment, and instruction so that we can get all students involved. Now, this work is based on the text Strategies for Inclusion, a handbook for physical educators by Lauren Lieberman and Kathy Houston Wilson, a really great resource that would be a great part of your library, I'm sure. We also have our academic language quizzes as another knowledge-based assessment. If we click on this, you'll see it's a very short quiz, 8 questions long. All of these are short questions with 1 or 2 word answers, which work great in Plickers. So if you're not familiar with Plickers, you should go to plickers.com and check it out. It's totally free, great assessment app which allows you to record, grade quickly, and get reports on how students are doing with their knowledge-based assessments. So we've designed our academic language quizzes for that. And again, it's a Microsoft Word format, so you can create additional quizzes using the same template as well. Something new that we have for this particular unit with respect to our equipment, if you take a look, there's an inventory tool. So some of the feedback that we've gotten is that people really love the open packs, but many times they have some of the equipment that are in those packs and they'd really like to order just what they need. So they can come here and they can click on this Excel document. It'll download and you can open it, and it gives you all of the different suggested equipment pieces for this particular module, but it gives you a column where you can type in your inventory. So let's say you've got 20 7-foot jump ropes. You don't need all 25, but you need other size jump ropes. You can leave those blank. What it did was it adjusted the quantity that I needed. If you remember, that said 25, now it only says 5. It also adjusts the pricing so you have an approximation on how much you need to spend to get your inventory where it needs to be. You know, another example, you might already have hoops and you might already have game cones. So it's gone through and it's adjusted the pricing again, and as well it's adjusted the inventory. Now here's something to look out for. Let's say you have 7 dozen bean bags, so you don't really need 5 dozen, and you put in your inventory number, you put in 7. You'll notice that this takes the quantity to -2 and it messes up the pricing. So this doesn't give you accurate pricing on what you're going to need. So even if you have 7 dozen, if it calls for 5, just to make sure that the pricing's accurate, you're only going to want to enter the amount that it goes up to with respect to quantity. So hopefully this is a tool that will help you save a little bit of time as well as save a little bit of money. Once you have this filled out, call our 800 number and select option 5. You'll talk to a US Game Sales representative. Let them know that you're a part of the Open Tribe, and they will, I'm sure, give you good pricing. So that's the intermediate jump rope module, and we really hope that it helps you teach your students jump rope skills, and I hope you enjoy all of the resources. Thank you very much for being a part of the Open Tribe.